So I know it's kind of hard to believe, but we're moving into Module 4, and we have 7 for the course. So you're almost halfway through. Module 4 and Module 5 are both about vocabulary. And so Module 4 is sort of it's going to be more about reading and understanding some of the content. We'll talk a lot about theory. And then Module 5 will be about teaching vocabulary. And so this next couple of weeks, it'll be more reading. There is a dialogue where you have very specific questions to answer for the summary dialogue. And then there's an assignment at the end of the second week, which is watching a small part of a movie video. So hopefully it'll be kind of fun. But to apply the theories, apply what you've been reading to that video, and really focusing on learning words, concepts, or vocabulary. So I am videoing this script. So this is the script. I'm just going to walk through a little bit of it because I want to kind of set you up for looking at vocabulary learning. And I start with an example of a teacher who plans instruction Monday through Friday with a set of 8 words, trying to help students understand the meaning of new words. And I kind of walk through what seems very logical in terms of how to teach that vocabulary, but which really is not very successful, particularly for words that are more conceptual than they are actual things that you can point to, concrete things you can point to. And so I give you some examples, the word afford and the word raise, and talk about some of the challenges, what was difficult, and then give you some ideas about how you might actually approach teaching vocabulary. So we'll talk about how to build what is a deep understanding of a concept or a word. And we do start out by defining a vocabulary word as not just a word that points to one thing, but as a symbol, which is the word that points to many ideas and very many linked ideas. So it's a network of ideas, not just one word and one meaning. And so I talk a little bit about that. I give you some examples of kind of trying to figure out how to approach teaching a word like afford and raise, and all the multiple meanings of it, or all the multiple semantic ways that you can use it. And so basically this really kind of points you in the direction for the module, which has you reading about 3 theories. So for the launch, you have a question, same as usual. This is for Module 4. My notes, which go into more detail about the 3 sort of theoretical perspectives for learning vocabulary. And one of them is Bruner's. We've talked about Bruner before with an active direct experience, iconic or graphic representation of concepts, and then symbolic, which is really the use of language, so words, signs, and using those in communication. So those are sort of the 3 theories. And so you get to read about those. In the first week, your dialogue is really answering these 3 questions, talking about each of those theories, because each of those theories gives you ideas about how to teach. And so that's the summary. And then the apply for week 1, I have a video clip of the movie Helen Keller. Perhaps you all have seen that before, but it's just a very small piece. And then I ask you 4 questions, really directly drawing from the theory to try and explain how how the theory applies to her learning of some of the words that she all of a sudden remembers and can fingerspell. And so that is module 4, 2 weeks. It's kind of a study module. Hopefully it's a little bit of a rest since you've been doing all sorts of kind of hands-on work, reading and then hands-on work with a case study student. And then module 5, 2 weeks from now, will be really about teaching vocabulary, taking some of these theories and some of the ideas and applying them to teaching vocabulary. So I hope this is clear, and I will be interacting with you online.